that childhood trauma is like those invisible threads which are woven in the very fabric of our life. And they start from very early when we are not even very present with what we are picking up as energies from the surroundings. You do very simple things of, Sharma ji ke bete ko dekho, wo kitna acha kar raha hai. This constant comparison, this constant belittling ourselves, the feeling of never being seen or heard or even loved the way we want. It's not about making our parents wrong or the loved ones wrong. It is just about our expectation of how we would have liked to be loved or received, which probably they could not hold that space. So the small incidences which could be repeated again and again create that trauma situation in life.
क्या आपको रिलेशनशिप में कंफ्यूजन है या फिर फैमिली में काफ़ी लड़ाई झगड़े हो रहे हैं या करियर में डायरेक्शन नहीं मिल रही या फिर हेल्थ रिलेटेड काफ़ी इश्यूज हैं, सो डोंट वरी, आज ही जुड़िए टीयूटी ट्रिनिटी से। यहाँ पे हम आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे ऐसे सर्टिफाइड एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स, लाइफ कोचेस, करियर कोचेस और काफ़ी प्रोफेशनल से जो आपकी दिक्कतों का सोल्यूशन निकालेंगे। अगर आपको लव लाइफ में क्लैरिटी चाहिए या फिर करियर में डायरेक्शन चाहिए या फिर अपने आप को मेंटली और फिजिकली फिट रखना है, सो आज ही हमसे जुड़िए एंड कॉन्टैक्ट अस ऑन 8448801064। Thank you. Welcome to another special episode of TVT. Today we are here with a renowned transformational coach who is going to share her expertise on personal growth, self-discovery and empowerment. So let's welcome our honor of guest, Ms. Radhika Jain.
Thank you, Niharika. Thank you for having me over. And I do hope that with today's conversation, we are able to create a change of how people can move from childhood traumas to releasing stuck emotions and even having that shift instant in your life. And of course, breaking the myth that what if healing isn't about fixing anything, but actually finding your true, authentic self.
So Radhika ma'am, firstly, I would like to know about your journey. Like, how did you become a transformational coach?
So I started, I think, as a child only. I always knew that I have a connect with people, I have a connect with nature, and people are very easily able to open up to me. But having done all my education, graduate from LSR and so on and so forth, I've had 20 years of corporate experience. Worked in American Express to Scandinavian Airlines to Bizcraft and Tata Docomo as National Head of Communication. I've also been an education counselor. So, and worked with so many industries with all the big 5 companies as well. I've realized that people go through a lot of things in their daily life. And my desk was always surrounded as if I'm like the agony aunt. And people just wanted to download and share their journey and hope that I would have answers to their problems. I think the journey started in 2003 of me actually trying to get into this field of learning some modalities just for myself, just for fun. So I started with learning emotional freedom technique, then moved on to learn Reiki, something called dowsing, which is through pendulum, and then entering the world of access consciousness, shamanism, and then really understanding that how much of our life that we create is by the choices that we make, however small or big they are. And that's what I would like to bring on the table, of being the contribution to others, of how they can create those changes by just making simple choices in their life.
So also Radhika ma'am, if we speak about childhood traumas, so how does they affect our lives? Can you tell us?
So childhood trauma itself is a very big word, but we'll come to what really trauma is. But first of all, I'd like to share, and I do believe that childhood trauma is like those invisible threads which are woven in the very fabric of our life. And they start from very early when we are not even very present with what we are picking up as energies from the surroundings. You do very simple things of, Sharma ji ke bete ko dekho, wo kitna acha kar raha hai. This constant comparison, this constant belittling ourselves, the feeling of never being seen or heard or even loved the way we want. It's not about making our parents wrong or the loved ones wrong. It is just about our expectation of how we would have liked to be loved or received, which probably they could not hold that space. So the small incidences which could be repeated again and again create that trauma situation in our life. And how does that react, or how do we react as we grow older? They show up as that constant fear, self-doubt, judgments, toxicity that we choose in our relationship, because gaslighting becomes so normal for us and we don't realize where we are going wrong. And the best and the easiest way to step out of that story is to rewrite your story, because you hold the pen of the narrative that you're writing.
Right.
And that happens when you start becoming more present with yourself, with your body, with your limited patterns that are shaping the life that you are. And again, going back to the very basic thing, choice. What am I choosing today that can create the change that I'm really looking for?
Right. And also, ma'am, we have heard of access bars therapy, but we don't know much about it. So, like, can you tell us what is it exactly and how does it work?
Yes, definitely. So in our society, and if you look at in any Indian home, you would have stuff from your parents, your grandparents, a lot of societal beliefs that are coming into space. The same thing is with your mind. Now, what is Access Bars does? Access Bars is basically a gentle hands-on therapy where we tap into 32 points on your head. And when these points are lightly touched, they help you release all the limited points of view, beliefs, thoughts, feelings, emotions that are stopping you from having the life you truly desire to have. In simple words, it's like pressing the reset button on the hard drive of your mind so that you let go of everything that's not creating greater for you and only hold on to what is truly true for you and is going to help you open more possibilities in your life, more doors in your life, bring out more choices. You must have seen suddenly you got a call from after a session, a call from somebody who's given you better opportunities in work. You can let go of body pains. I've had miraculous changes where people have let go of a body pain like Shatika holding on for 6 years in just one session. PCOD can be reversed. Cancer can also be reversed because we are giving the body a choice to choose what is working for it and what is not working for it, which is a very subconscious level. No conversation, no going back to the trauma, no reliving it. Just lie down and receive. Receive the gift that you are.
Right. And ma'am, if we talk about healing, so can healing actually help to solve like our relationship, career, or any aspect of life? So can we solve it?
So yes, things like access bars, things like being present with your body, being present with yourself is first creating that awareness. Okay, what does solution look like in my world? What is it that I'm calling a problem? Is it really a problem, or is it just a point of view that I've picked up and I'm proving it right rather than be free of it? For example, I may have a point of view that money has to be hard earned and only when I earn it, I can truly enjoy it. Another point of view that we have bought and have heard enough and more is पैसे पेड़ पे नहीं उगते, ज़्यादा खुश होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You know, all these are points of view that we picked up. So even if I have something good to share, I would be very skeptical of sharing with the outside world because I have this point of view which is running my life. Now, when I become present with that point of view and I say, okay, is it really creating greater for me? Can I change it? So again, going back to a very basic thing, are we present with what we are thinking at every time? And what is available today for me to become more present in my life? To know that all these things, that grandma closet that I have, which is all this clutter, which is my mind, I can go through it and say, okay, is this working for me? Is this working for me? Is this point of view working for me? And can I change it? And that is where you start first making a choice to change. How will automatically start showing up in your world.
Right.
Because the first step is to create that change that yes, this is not working and I'm going to change this. And that doesn't have to come from a space of going to the deep end, that hitting that rock bottom and saying, ab to kuch ho nahi raha hai. So, I have to be all in. No, start small. Today, just get up and ask, okay, who am I today? And what grand and glorious adventures can I have? What's fun for me? Because I'll let you in on a secret, money comes to the party of joy. So if you are joyous, if you're choosing for yourself, if you're choosing for what really works for you, you will realize that you're a much more happier version, more possibilities start showing up in your world, and you become an invitation to others to choose themselves, which is not about choosing against anyone else. हमारी सोसाइटी में ये भी बताया जाता है कि this is a family business, you must take it on. So we get married for other people. We get married as per other people's choices. We choose careers as per other people's choices. Because in the family, that's how it has been running. That's all right. I'm not saying it is right or wrong. But just check in and say, what is my true self really going to shine out as? What can I create and contribute to this world which no one else can? And how much fun can I have with that now?
True.
Money is automatically going to come.
Also, Radhika ma'am, personally, I want to ask this question that how can we identify negative energies in our body or in our surroundings?
Okay, so let's address the elephant first.
Yeah.
There is only energy. There is nothing negative and there is nothing positive. It's all our perspective, our point of view, that we define it as such. Yes, I do understand the heaviness. So when you sometimes go to certain families or certain environments, you can feel heavy, you can feel anxious, you feel more tired, because you are actually tapping into their world, their energies. आप किसी और के घर में जाकर उनकी जिंदगी देख रहे हो. But you may perceive it because your body is your biggest compass and your best friend. And it is giving you only signals. The only thing is we have to understand that communicate with the body. Know what is trying to communicate with me and not own that problem and then try to find a solution to it. Oh, I'm feeling so tired. Iron कम हो रहा होगा. चलो वो खा लेते हैं दवाई. Let me go to a doctor and feel it. No, ask your body, what is it that you truly require? Am I aware of somebody else's point of view? And I'm going to give you a very simple tool to break that analogy also of getting into somebody else's mind.
Right.
We are all psychic SpongeBobs. And every thought, feeling and emotion that you are thinking is going in your mind is actually you perceiving other people's thoughts, feeling, emotion. You're like this tower, signal का tower होता है ना, जो सब जगह से सिग्नल आता है और फिर बाहर निकलता है. तो आप वो सिग्नल हो जहाँ टावर हो, जहाँ सब जगह सिग्नल्स आ रहे हैं. पर हम क्या करते हैं, उस प्रॉब्लम को हम ओन कर देते हैं. Then we start looking for a solution and we may have a symptomatic relief through some means, but it again comes back.
Right.
And becomes more and more solid and more louder in our world. If you could just ask a question, who does this belong to? Whose energies have I tapped into? And how can I now return it back to original sender without being at the effect of it, but just being aware of it? So then you can transmute energy. So become you. So positive, negative doesn't exist. Energy is just energy.
Right.
I have to ask, is it working for me or not?
True. So earlier, ma'am, we were speaking about relationships. So like, can we speak more about it? Because ma'am, see ma'am, there's this concept of having a soulmate, a twin flame.
Yes.
So is it actually true?
Okay, truth is obviously a version of your reality. But I'll ask you a very simple thing. We'll go back to the basic words of English. Relation. If you look at physics, relation is in comparison to one to the other, the distance between two objects.
Yeah.
So when I say I want to have a relationship with you, I want to actually create a distance between you and me. And we run in parallel lines, hoping that we'll meet one day. We both know we will not meet. But if I were to give you a different perspective of having creationships, now what does that even mean?
Yeah.
You're complete in your own way. Today we are raised in an environment where we are independent, we are earning on our own, we can have support staff which is also cooking for us. So ऐसा भी नहीं खाना बनाना सीखना पड़ रहा है हमें. हम party भी कर सकते हैं, हमारे parents भी इतने open minded है. And we have another person, whether it is in my friendship or is it my love relationship, who's also equally complete in their own way. When I and the other person come together, do we become a better version of ourselves because we have this person in our life? Do they become a better version of themselves because I am a part of their life? And do we co-create something which is even greater than we could have created if we were individually making that effort?
Yeah.
When we start operating from these questions and every day choose that partner consciously, that okay, today I am married to him, yes, but how can I choose him more? How can I have more space for him? What is the gift this person is being that I'm not willing to receive? And what will it take for me to receive that? Because that comes from a space of first receiving the gift that you are, to acknowledge the gift in the other person.
Right.
So when we start operating from these questions, they create that awareness which helps us to have the life that we truly desire.
So ma'am, what if they say like they are emotionally dependent on us? Like they say, you make me happy, you make me feel safe. So what does that mean?
So it is obviously coming from their childhood of how probably unsafe they had felt because they were not seen enough, how nobody was holding space for them because everybody is so busy into this digital world, fast-paced world, everybody's running around, and then you expect that the other person must have only time for you. So I'll give you a very simple thing and I'm sure you relate to it. When a couple says I love you to each other, the man is saying I love you to the woman. What is he actually communicating to her? I love you, you are mine. You cannot now even appreciate another guy walking on the street. Because that would mean that you are demeaning our relationship and you don't love me anymore. So how much insecurity is already inbuilt in that relation from the start?
Right.
A woman says, I love you, which means I'm all yours. And you cannot look at another woman. You cannot have any of those boys' trips. You can't have a life of your own unless I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So when we talk about relationship where we become a better version of ourselves, in a relationship a lot of times, we become a lesser version to fit into somebody else's idea of what I must look like, be like, and behave like. And this is when we only talk about two people. I'm not even involved with families here right now. When families come in, it's a completely different dynamic here. So we have to be very conscious of what does relationship even mean for me, and start first working within, because the world is just a mirror of what is going on inside you. And when you transform yourself from the inside, the outside automatically shifts. So what is your relationship with you is the first question I like to ask before we create a relationship with someone outside us.
True, ma'am. Also, ma'am, I want to ask this, that why do we sometimes feel stuck when we are doing everything right, everything is going on the right path? So why does it happen?
So stuckness is a lot of times, like I said, we've done the checklist that I've done from good school, I've done the college as everybody expected me to be. They told me I'm good at it, so I did that college course. I've got a good job, or whatever that means. I have now come to a space where I'm 25, 26, so I must start looking for a partner, whether in a relationship or into marriage. Once I'm 30, 35, at this generation, at least I should start settling on having a child. And then I must have a house, and I must have a dog, and so on and so forth. I've done everything by the checklist. But have I ever checked in with myself? Is any of it truly my choice? Is there anyone else like a Niharika on this earth? No, there is only one Niharika, like you. So whose reality am I mimicking to prove myself right? Instead of asking what is my reality, what makes me happy?
Right.
And can I step out of this rat race and this competition which age creates in our life, which society creates? At this age you must have achieved this, and if you haven't, you're far behind. And we sit at night and we overthink and we judge ourselves constantly. So how many of us get up being happy with the way we look and the life we have? First thing in the morning, don't we judge ourselves? I'm looking so puffy, hair is not nice, this is not right, that complexion is not right. So if body is your best friend and you belittle your friend every day, every moment that you get, an opportunity you get, would it like to be your best friend? Would you like to be somebody's best friend who belittles you every minute of the hour of the day? So what do we talk to ourselves is what the world is talking back to us. So it is very important to be very present of what is the energies I am surrounding myself with. What am I emanating?
True.
मतलब कभी कभी आप देखते हो ना, किसी के साथ बैठकर ही बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
Exactly.
एक वो चाय का कप ही जो सुकून देता है, वो बोतलों के दारू का कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उससे. Isn't it? Because the energy they're being, the space they're holding, the kindness that they are being. They do not have to judge yourself. They know it doesn't matter how you look, how much money you have, what you've achieved. After a point today, have I asked you 12th में कितने नंबर आए थे?
Nothing.
लेकिन 12th में वो सबसे important time था. So everything is very momentary, short-lived. Past को हम अगर ना carry करें present में, we can really create a beautiful future.
Right. So Radhika ma'am, if we speak about shamanic practices, so what do you think? ये actually myth है या फिर miracles?
So I would say they are neither myth nor a miracle, and they're just ancient wisdom tools that help you and are very relevant in today's life, especially in today's fast-paced world where everybody's looking for instant gratification. The way to connect with nature, because what is shamanic practices? They're basically just our ways to connect with ourselves, our souls, and the unseen energies that are around us, which lead to deep healing. And they're so powerful that people who've been through those processes experience miraculous changes. So what do we really do in shamanic practices? We connect with the mountain, the rivers, the wind, the animal spirit guides, and we seek guidance from them, whether it is about our money, our relationships, our body, and we can also tap into our past lives where we may have created those patterns and we're still following and carrying the fragments of it. So the degree may reduce, but we still recreate the same patterns. And because they sound so familiar, we love to break out of them, but we still go back to them again.
Right.
You know, how many of us want to get out of toxic relationships, but still cannot because it just sounds so familiar? somebody if is always holding space for you, is always loving. I think all of us will question after 1 year, something is wrong with this person. How can they be so loving at all times? Because toxicity is so natural around us, and we've all been there. Shamanic practices help you to unlock that, to create this shift, and to connect with nature at a level which is so non-judgmental that you start falling in love with yourself first. And then people who can contribute to your life start showing up.
Right.
Because like I said earlier, what is inside is what the world mirrors out. So when you have love and honor and respect for yourself, and you're present with yourself, then that is what will reflect outside. And those people who can see you, truly receive you, will start showing up.
Right.
So that force of going upstream, of trying to prove yourself right, is not required anymore.
Also, ma'am, nowadays what we see that people love to go out, they love to travel, explore new places. So, like, can you tell us, like, what is the actual reason? Why do they do that?
Well, only one word comes to me. It is a coping mechanism, escapism. And most of us would like to go for natural or nature retreats, go in the jungle, the forest. Why? Because nature doesn't judge you. If you stand in a forest, even a park near you, you will see all trees of the same kind will grow differently, and you have no judgment of them. They have no judgment of you. And so you can feel your barriers going down and just receiving, because you now know nobody's judging you. And the best part about the nature, there's so much to learn. The sun does not shine for itself. The tree, the fruit that it bears, it never consumes it. The water never drinks its own, the river never drinks its own water. Everything is to quench our thirst, to give us the fruit, and to contribute to us. I'll go one step forward. If a murderer is standing, or a rapist is standing, or a sadhu is standing, the sun is shining brightly on each one of them. It is their willingness to receive that will create the life that they live. So what we try to actually do with nature is open our receiving without consciously even knowing it. Now the same thing, if we are present in our city lives, we can do the same thing. We don't have to every time run to the jungle. But that is the hard wiring कि वहाँ जाके बस chill करेंगे, कुछ नहीं करेंगे हम, और बस nature में बैठेंगे हम. That, when you hear the water flowing around you, it is so deeply calming. Why? Because you know that it has no agenda with itself. It is not here to hurt you or to harm you. It is just passing through its own course.
Right.
So that is the way we can connect with our own selves. When we just flow with the nature rather than resist or react to situations, people or surroundings.
Right. Also, ma'am, people are living in this dilemma. If like उनके लिए positive mindset important है या फिर healing important है, जिसे हम like inner healing कहते हैं. So इनमें से क्या important है हम लोगों के लिए?
I love this question. It's actually very interesting. So if I was to draw an analogy, I would say positive mindset or positive attitude is like putting a band-aid on a wound which you've not yet cleaned. So no matter how much band-aid you keep putting on, unless you don't look at the wound, clean it, it is not going to heal on its own. Isn't it? So when we talk about affirmations, I can keep saying I am happy 1,000 times. But I still will have those emotions of anger, guilt, rage, hate, fury, sadness coming up from time to time.
Right.
But when you actually go within, sit with those emotions and understand where are they surfacing from, use the tools of who does it belong to. Is it even my anger, or am I perceiving other people's anger? And now is it contributing to me? What's fun about this that I'm holding on to? Or can I now release it and create space for something new to enter? So positivity then becomes a natural state of mind and not something which you're forcing yourself to be.
Right.
Because anything forced will have a very short lifespan. And something which comes naturally to you will always be more welcoming, more creative for you, more generative, and basically more fun in life. Isn't that what we're here for?
True.
So just to help you understand or give you a small example of what kind of space that you can access when you are absolutely calm and collected, I'll give you a small exercise.
Sure.
So just close your eyes, and everybody can also close their eyes, whoever are watching, and become present. Touch yourself on 3 points in your body. Feel your buttocks on your chair. Feel your hands in any part of your body. Bring in your awareness. And now, just take your awareness 3 feet outside your body. Just become present of this room that you're sitting in, all corners. Now expand that awareness and cover entire city that you're living in. Expand that awareness 360 degrees to cover the entire country that you're living in. Expand that further to cover the entire world. And go further, expand it further to the outside earth now. Expand further. Can you perceive the space that you have? There's no contraction in your body. Now bring your awareness back to your body and slowly open your eyes. How does that feel?
Great. It actually works.
And then you ask questions. What else is possible in my life that I have never thought would be possible? Because what we're really doing, if you look at very simply, is taking a bird's eye view of our life, our energies. You can, even when you're stepping out of that space, you can look at yourself back on earth and see your energies. You will actually be able to see even where the blockages are. And you can just shift the molecules. It's just saying कि मैंने आज wall जो है white कराई है मुझे अच्छी नहीं लग रही है. I can change it, right? Same, anything that's not working in my life, I just have to be present with it, acknowledge it, and change it. The change can be, maybe I'll do one tile in 1 year, and somebody may do one tile in 2 months. That comparison, when I keep that out of the equation, a change is a change is a change, no matter how small it is.
Right. And Radhika ma'am, lastly, I want to ask this, that if someone wants to start their own healing journey, so how can they start it?
Their own healing journey. So I think the first step, an absolute first step, is reconnecting with your body. Because your body has its own consciousness. But what we do is we look at Google, we look at all the internet, and we say, oh, I need to lose weight and green tea works very well, so I will start having green tea. And this diet is working very well for XYZ person, so I must take it. I introduce people how to connect with the body, which is basically a 3-minute exercise. And it is so shockingly surprising that body has its own consciousness versus what you think it should do. So when the two of you are in relationship with each other and co-creating your life, so then even if you're eating a cheeseburger, you will not put on weight. That is my guarantee to you. So starting with connecting with your body, knowing that where the pain is and what is the emotion I'm holding on in that pain. So there's so many practice of emotional freedom technique, which is like 9 meridians in your body, which you can easily learn. Takes 2 minutes to shift it. Becoming present with what is working for you, what is not working for you. Knowing that when you are stepping away from somebody, it is not because you are against them. It is just that you're choosing more of you. मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. When you operate from that energy, then why would I want to even sit for 1 second in any unhappy thought, feeling or situation? I won't. I won't allow my daughter to be unhappy even for 1 second. I would do everything to change it, right? So why do we allow that unhappiness to seep into us, to become a disease, even as terminal as cancer? For smart people, we're not very smart, are we? So the question we can ask is, what's right about my life that I'm not getting? And what can I change here to create the shift I truly desire? And how much fun can I have? That's all there is to it.
Right.
Thank you for watching this podcast, and I do hope it has been a contribution to you, a learning for you, and has helped you answer some of the questions that a lot of us have been curious about. I do look forward to meeting a lot of you here, and the details are all on your screen. What else is possible, and how does it get even better than this?